just tell us how hard this one hits Leon. It's a lousy question, but I got to ask it. You got a Stanley Cup contender that's in 32nd place here. Are you worried about your job?
It doesn't feel like anyone's going right now. Have you ever experienced something like this where, some guys slump, obviously, but it just feels like no one's going right now?
Yeah, great observation.
If I told you at the beginning of the season that a lottery team who's made history for being so bad would somehow find themselves tied in the standings with everyone's Stanley Cup pick, would you even believe me? Now, there's actually been a lot of teams that have been a complete dumpster fire to start the season, but none of them have been as bad as the San Jose Sharks. They've made history for how bad they've been, but this was still expected from the Sharks. The Edmonton Oilers, on the other hand, were a lot of fans' cup pick heading into this season. Yet after 13 games, they find themselves alongside the Sharks, and the two teams are battling for the basement of the NHL. Really, it shouldn't be exciting. But given the tensions and all the drama that has happened for these two teams over the last few weeks, it was the most anticipated toilet bowl game you can get in the middle of November for NHL hockey. Really, hockey is a funny sport. And for a game that has so much structure and systems attached to it, the feel and intuition side of the game almost ends up being just as important. I say this because this game went exactly how you'd expect it to go. Between the Oilers and the Sharks, the Oilers should be the better team by a long shot. And with both teams struggling as bad as they are, you'd expect Edmonton to come out and find a way to win this game in some way, shape, or form. And the Oilers did dominate. They pushed the pace for most of the game, but the Sharks capitalized on the few, but albeit crucial mistakes that the Oilers made. Puck watching and coverage from Draisaitl leads to a goal against, while Edmonton deploys their zone coverage. We broke down why they've had issues with this system earlier this week, but this is one where Draisaitl is just behind reading the play as his man stands open in the slot. Now, San Jose played extremely passive in this one, deploying a 1-2-2 in the neutral zone, and then just backing up into the slot before the puck has even entered the zone. They can't keep up with the skill of the Oilers, or really anybody, but basically their strategy was to sit back and rely on their tendy Mackenzie Blackwood, and also wait for mistakes to materialize on the counterattack. As Edmonton pressed, they tried to play a 2-3 offensive zone structure. A lot of high-powered offensive teams in the NHL use this to create space high in the zone. But Edmonton just couldn't connect in this game, or really all season actually. Early in the third, we see Edmonton use this offensive zone strategy, and it actually gets them in trouble. Ryan McLeod plays as the third forward high, swings it over to Nurse, and as Nurse hesitates to give McLeod back the puck, he tries to turn, make a move at the blue line. San Jose has good pressure, and the odd man rush the other way leads to a goal against. When you're struggling like the Edmonton Oilers are right now, these are the structure mistakes that lose you games. Then you get a bounce like this that leads to a goal against, and it seems like absolutely nothing is going right. That's the funny side to this game, because when you're confident and feeling good, it just seems like more of these bounces are working in your favor. And when you're not, it can seem like you can't catch a break. The Oilers didn't have any problem generating chances, but Mackenzie Blackwood of the Sharks played absolutely brilliant. Despite having 49 more shot attempts than San Jose, the Edmonton Oilers would find a way to lose this game. For the Oilers and their fans, it doesn't get much worse than this. McDavid, who led the NHL with 64 goals last season, has no goals in his last 7 games. The Oilers have lost 4 straight and have 1 win in their last 9 contests. Their 5 points are now tied with the San Jose Sharks for the fewest on the season. This team's confidence is at an all-time low, and you can see it in every element of their game. It's easy to underestimate the element of pressure because you can't see it, but with everything going on for these two teams the last few weeks, who do you think had more pressure on them to win this game? The answer is without a doubt the Edmonton Oilers, and that type of pressure alone can play with your head, not even including all the structural mistakes that they're already making. As we've seen with other Canadian markets this week, there's going to be a ton of noise about what changes need to be made. The Oilers may need a new coach, a new goalie, a new system, but whatever it is, they're looking for a solution that will help bring them more confidence. Right now, there's no area of their game that they can look to or draw from as a positive. It always stemmed from their offense, but with both McDavid and Draisaitl struggling to be their usual selves, it just hasn't been the answer. This may very well be one of the lowest moments of the McDavid era in Edmonton. Stanley Cup aspirations to being tied for dead last with the San Jose Sharks. We've all been fooled by the Edmonton Oilers. I thought it couldn't get any worse, but right now, it's looking like things could get a lot uglier before they get better.